So at Salesforce, I run our business development team as well as our strategic product alliances team. We talk about the customer success platform at Salesforce, and really what that means is we're trying to allow our customers to connect with their customers in completely new ways. People are using tools in different ways. They're not working in silos, they're trying to work across departments, and that's really what a lot of the integrations we're talking about here today are helping people to do. When we look at where we're headed now, teams are focused on best-of-breed applications. So I need the best X, I need the best Y to get my job done, and I want it to feel like a consumer experience. People want that in the workplace, and I think that's a trend that's started to show up maybe 4 to 5 years ago, and it's accelerating. I mean, Slack's a great example, where it's a communication mechanism that more reflects how people really interact in today's world, similar to an acquisition that we made last summer with a company called Quip, where it's a next generation of productivity. So the team's goals really are to identify the best technology companies that we can work with to help bring the customer experience to a better place. Slack addresses some of the productivity needs and the ability to have the communication experience integrated seamlessly with Salesforce. We have over 1,800 companies already that have started using it, so we're pretty excited. And that's the beginning of hopefully what could be a longer-term partnership.
I'm Brad Armstrong. I run business development and partnerships here at Slack. Our partners include the icons of enterprise software: IBM, Salesforce, Google. These are our partners in defining the future of work. And today, we're incredibly excited to be announcing our partnership with SAP, one of the most important enterprise software companies for over 4 decades. As the original disruptor in business applications, SAP helped pave the way for Slack. And now that we've arrived in the enterprise, we're working closely together to bring key workflows from across SAP's entire portfolio of applications into Slack. In doing so, we're providing the integrated experience our mutual customers have been asking for. I'm very excited to bring on stage with me David Ragones, Group Vice President of Product at SuccessFactors, and John Given, Vice President of Platform at Concur, to tell you more about the partnership. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks, Brad.
So from Concur to SuccessFactors to HANA Cloud Platform, SAP is building on the Slack platform. Let's get into what that means. Dave, let's start with you. At SuccessFactors, tell us about what you're building.
Yeah, so as many of you know, SuccessFactors grew up in the talent management space, in cloud, in web, in mobile. So what's next? One area that's we've been really intrigued about is this idea of conversational interfaces. Imagine if interacting with SuccessFactors was like having a conversation with your HR business partner, right? You could ask questions, the software would take actions powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence. We call this conversational HR. And when we thought about this, really the best way, or really the first way to bring this to market, we of course thought about Slack. So I'm excited to show this to you guys today. This is our first spot from SuccessFactors. Let me tee this up before we go into the demo. So what you're going to be seeing, this is our new continuous performance management capability. So this is all about conversations driving better performance within your workplace. It's not about annual goals anymore. It's about those rich collaboration that you want to be able to do in Slack and other tools. So why don't we jump into the demo so everybody can take a look. So what you're going to be seeing here, this is Samantha. She's in Slack. She's going to be adding a new activity. She has a board meeting coming up, so she's able to add that activity directly within Slack, associated with a goal that's in SuccessFactors. And then 2 weeks later, when that activity is complete, she's able to mark it complete. It becomes an achievement that shows up on her annual performance review. So in the end, it's the review that writes itself. You don't have to write your annual review anymore. It's all about those rich collaborations that happen in Slack, updates between you and your manager while you're getting work done.
Yeah, this is so interesting, and it really just underscores the way that you're changing how performance management software is done and how it works, right? You're making it more actionable, more iterative, more immediate for the end user.
Yeah, I mean, one trend that we're seeing in the workplace is a move from top-down HR-driven processes And performance is much more about those ongoing conversations that you're having, whether it's with your manager, with your team, in the course of getting projects done. You want to be able to have those conversations directly in the tools that you're working day to day. You don't want to have to go to the SuccessFactors web app or the SuccessFactors mobile app. You want to be able to interact with SuccessFactors directly where that work is getting done.
And,
so that's
what
why
makes Slack kind of the best platform for that?
Yeah, I mean, Slack is the best platform for that because it's where that work is happening, right? So you're collaborating in the moment. You're working with your team. So why wouldn't you want to also interact with SuccessFactors at the same time?
It's great. You know, I can't wait to see this one get rolled out. I know that, Dave, you've also been close to the HANA Cloud Platform team. Can you tell us a bit about what they're working on?
Yeah, so you know, we like to talk at SAP about the best run businesses run SAP software. So John and I, we both represent application businesses at SAP, but one of the things that we're deeply invested in as well is this idea of platforms. And our platform as a service is called HANA Cloud Platform. Our tool for developing rich applications on that is called the SAP Web IDE. It was built by SAP developers for SAP developers. And what we're proud to announce today is a new Slack plugin for the Web IDE. It's all about enabling those rich Slack channels and opening those up in the tool itself so you can have those interactions while you're building software. And at the end of the day, it's all about creating better software through Slack. As our CEO likes to say, it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's a beautiful thing too. So
Yeah.
we have HR, performance management, we have chat ops. John, you're the head of platform at Concur. Tell us about what your Concur app does.
Well, sir, sure. So we'll talk a little bit about.
I like sir.
Talk a little bit about the Concur app. So basically, you can go in and you can look at an itinerary, see when you're flying out. Once you're in trip, you can go and put in an expense. You can upload a receipt, and then once you're done with the trip, you're back in your day-to-day. You're working in Slack. You can check out the status of a given expense report. So we're trying to bring Concur to where people spend their lives, and increasingly more and more people in the enterprise are spending their lives inside Slack. So it's a natural fit.
So, you know, expense management is something we all have to do. Now that I work at a startup, I have to do a lot more of it myself. It's impersonal, it's complicated. Concur's gone a long way in addressing that, but how does this app really help that?
Are you saying expense management and travel is not super sexy? Is that what you're saying, Brad? Is that what I hear?
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
No, I appreciate that. Hopefully at Concur, we don't have the hubris to believe that people wake up in the morning with a bounce in their step going to their expense management tool. We're trying really hard to make it easier for people to get in, get their expense and their travel done effortlessly, and they can move on to their job, creating value for their company, creating value for their customer, move on with their lives, right? And increasingly, more and more people are spending their time in their job in Slack. So let's walk through a little bit and see what the capabilities you can do. So let's say the first thing you want to do is Sam, she's an engineer, she's spending her life in Slack, but she knows she has a flight later in the afternoon, she wants to check that out. She goes and she puts in the flight emoji, and just to remind herself exactly what her itinerary is, what her flight is. So there Sam puts in that flight emoji, and she sees that what time her flight is. So great. Now she's in transit, she has a meal, she decides to remind herself for that expense, so puts that expense into Concur travel and expense. So she quickly is in Slack, she can type in an expense to remind herself that's a certain amount of money she spent on a lunch, upload that, she's done, and then she can upload a receipt right inside Slack as well. She's still in Slack, she has a receipt, she uploads that, she can attach it, and later they can put that together in travel and expense.
So in the same way that you can interact with a valued colleague, you can interact with Concur, right? It's personal, it's immediate, it's right there.
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
And we're trying to bring that right there. So now Sam's back at her desk, she's working, she's doing some more work, and she wants to know the status of a certain expense report, so she can quickly go and just see the status of an expense report. She doesn't have to go and remember a password and log in and go to Concur and understand where drop-down menu is and all that stuff. We're trying to bring these services to where people spend their lives, where they're working, and we think that Slack is the place where people are spending more and more of their work.
We agree. We see it every day. This is going to be really valuable to our end users and to our mutual customers. The diversity of these applications, from chat ops to HR to expense management, really demonstrates, I think, the breadth of SAP's business. I think it also demonstrates the flexibility of the Slack platform, that we're able to provide value for all these. And it also shows that working with us is not really about pulling users away from your software. Rather, it's about creating more engagement for them, right? Another place for them to engage with their software, with your software, to create more value for everybody.
Yeah, man, listen, we're all enterprise software guys here up on the stage. I think that enterprise software in general, we were, for years, we were behind the consumer space, right? Mobile and social, these guys, the consumer guys did it much more quickly and much better. I think companies like SAP becoming really more cloud software companies, buying companies that are application cloud companies, building on a cloud platform around all of our core assets. This allows us to do more innovative, interesting stuff more quickly. So when we go and find interesting, cool new companies like Slack that are really innovating in that space, we get to integrate and we bring that value to our SAP end users much more quickly. So that's super cool. So all this great investment in cloud and cloud software that's happening across SAP allows us to more quickly innovate with crazy new innovative platforms like Slack. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, we welcome the partnership. Taking a step back, as you allude to, we've all been in the industry for some time, and we've seen the evolution of platforms. SAP has really been a leader in every major platform, right? From mainframe to client server to web and mobile, and now SAP is making a big bet on messaging and a big investment in Slack. I'd like to hear your perspective on why SAP is making that investment now.
Yeah, so SAP, we sell to the largest companies in the world. We sell to Fortune 500, Global 1000 companies. And when we sell to the head of IT or we sell to the head of HR or the head of finance, what they're telling us more and more is it's really all about engagement, right? It's about engaging their employees when they're doing the work, their day-to-day work. So it's not about going to an SAP application anymore. It's about those SAP applications going to where work is getting done. So that's why Slack is so powerful and the enterprise grid is so powerful, because this is what our customers want. So it makes a ton of sense for us to work closely with you guys.
Yeah, bringing our services, our array of services, our large array of services in the SAP world to where customers are spending their lives and increasing their spending their lives inside Slack. Makes complete sense.
Well, today's a seminal moment for Slack. We're launching our Enterprise Grid product. It's designed for our largest and most complex customers with whom I think you have some familiarity. So having you here today to usher us in to the largest enterprise customers is something that we really value. I want to thank you guys for being here today, and I want to thank SAP for your partnership.
We're super excited about being
Thanks,
here.
Brad.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks very much.